Nice baby girl. Look at you. Oh yeah. What's going on, everybody? All fellow humans and resellers. This is I, James, ReadoptionAgency.com. 20 plus years selling on eBay. Hell, I had actually a nice rebound day. I was pleasantly surprised. Let's say that. Went thrifting. Found some good stuff over at the Honey Hole. Then Jan had some eye issues. We had to run her to the eye doctor. And oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of it, but there is a new eye drop out. Yes. That will allow me to get rid of my readers. It actually helps you see up close. The eye doctor we've been going to forever, he's using it. He's like, he loves it. It lasts for 8 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, depending on your severity, I guess, of your eyesight. And his lasts over 8 hours when he does it every day. And you put one drop in a day. It's like $80, but I don't know how many drops that gets you. But hey, if I don't have to wear these glasses to read a back of a CD in a thrift store or something, I'm all for that. So I'm excited. So I made the appointment to go in because I have to do an appointment, get checkup, and then he'll prescribe it for me. He said the way my eyes are, I'm a perfect candidate for it. So I'm like, yes, that's going to be awesome. So it's like Christmas, man. That's why I'm so excited today. I'm like, I can get rid of my glasses. There is a side effect on some people where it gives you a headache because it's dilating the eyes or whatever. So I've got to see that because I know I have problems with headaches. So hopefully I'm still positive. I'm still optimistic that it's going to be awesome. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get to shipping because we got a Blues game tonight. I got an hour and a half before that starts. So plenty of time to get these 42 items shipped out. So let's get it. All right. Got these Alpine racing boots. Got these at the Honey Hole. I do believe. If I did, I would have paid $5 for them. Pretty cool. And they sold for $60. Going to Harrisonville, Missouri. Alrighty, Brenda Kahn, 60-second Critic promo cassette single. Sold for $7. Headed to North Carolina. Alright, got these Asics here, men's. Sold them for $20. Headed to Florida. Juvenile Committee, Free Us Colored Kids. Cassette sealed with the cutout. Sold for $5. Headed to Cincinnati. I heard him moan. He's gotten to the point now when I vacuum, he follows me around while I'm vacuuming. That's so funny. She's scared of the vacuum. He follows me like he's expecting me to leave or something. He's always got to keep an eye on me. All right, next up. All right, the Farm CD sold for $4.50, headed out to California. Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants DVD sealed, sold for $7, headed to Toledo, Ohio. All right, Laura Satterfield promo CD single, and sold for $10, headed to Los Angeles. Johnny Marr and the Healers CD promo single, sold for $7, headed to the Bronx, New York. All right, gonna get this vinyl out of the way so I can get it in here before I get out of room because it comes out to about right there. So, and anyway, the game 12-inch vinyl sold for $6, headed to Washington. What I was saying is I want to get these in here before I run out of room. You see, because they pile in there, and that's my mind works like Tetris because I grew up playing Tetris. Anyway, are you ready for a vinyl light? Yeah. All right, we got this piece, and this was Honey Hole, so I paid $1 for that, and $1 for this one also, Kevin Burke. So Kevin Burke's Together they sold for $11, and they're going up to Canada. And actually, even before Tetris came out, my mind worked like that because my dad was a truck driver, so he'd always have to pack everything so that it makes the best sense and gets the most on each load. So I learned it from him, so I'd be the one packing the car and packing things up and whatever the case may be. And even when hanging out with my friends or whatever, I was always the one who did all the packing of whatever happened. If we had to rearrange, put a bunch of stuff in a trunk or whatever, I was always the one doing it all because my mind worked like a Tetris thing. So, and then so when that game came out, man, that was fun. I excelled at Tetris pretty good because of that. It's kind of funny, but anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. All right, this vinyl sold for $5, headed up to Utah. All right, Anything Goes. Cole Porter CD going to Australia, sold for $5. David Osborne Tribute to Frank Sinatra CD, sold $4, headed to Bell, California. All right, that Music Box Mechanism sold. Got this at the Honey Hole. I don't remember what I paid for it. $3, $4, $2, somewhere in there. Sold for $20, and it's headed to Water Valley, Mississippi. Another one of those RVCA hats. I need to look that up and see actually what company that is, or I guess that's just their brand name. I have no, I need to at least look it up and do some history on it. I sell enough of it. So this hat sold for $10, going to Charlotte, North Carolina. We got a Duke hat, the Blue Devils, with a lot of hair on it. Gotta get that off. Sold for $6, going to Belmont, New Hampshire. Detroit Lions sold for $10, headed to Detroit, Michigan. USA, USA. Hat sold for $6, going to Chester, Virginia. I want to go to Roanoke. That's Virginia, right? Or West Virginia? Virginia. Anyway. Shred it. Hat sold for $10, going to Waterloo, Illinois. So right over the river. Next up, we got a St. Louis brand, the Normal brand. And sold for $7, headed to Jefferson City, Missouri. You know, I'm not really a baseball fan because I think it's kind of boring. But I would have liked to, maybe I'll find it online and go watch the 8th inning of the Cardinals game today. Apparently, they ended up winning like 29 to something, beating Washington. I think it was Washington they were playing. I saw somebody put it up on Facebook, like 29 points. Or I'm like, phew, wonder if that's any kind of a record. I don't know. Anyway, vintage Houston Astros hat sold for $35, headed to Houston, Texas. Alrighty, we've got MAGA 6th Open Championship golf hat sold for $9, headed to St. Simons Island, Georgia. This was one of those weird coincidence hats. I was drafting today and I came across an Enterprise hat. So I searched my store to make sure I didn't have it up, and I saw this one. Like, oh, okay. Made my draft, blah, blah, blah. Ran Jan to the eye doctor, came back, and this had sold. I'm like, nice. Sold for $9 and headed to Canada. Quinky dink. And with Jan going to the eye doctor, she's fine now, but it was a weird thing. Like, she's blind in the left eye from her rheumatoid arthritis, one of the many complications, I guess you could say, of rheumatoid. So she went blind in the left eye. So they kind of treat her like royalty over there because, you know, they're always concerned with, you know, is it going to come back and things like that. So, but anyway, got in the house and she all of a sudden started feeling sharp pains in her eye and tried washing her eye out and nothing helped. So I had to run her over there. Apparently, it seems that her eye, since she can't see, but apparently she's been collecting a lot of junk in the eye, debris. They even pulled out a little string about that long that was in her eye. But apparently she maybe rubbed her eye and it scratched the eye or made an abrasion or whatever they call, which they say will heal in about 24 to 48 hours. But, and they gave her steroids to put in there. But they pulled all kinds of just junk, flushed her eye out. So she had all kinds of stuff in her eye that she didn't know was in there. So it was a very weird situation. Never even heard of anything like that before. So very odd, but she's good now. So Huron Island, Great Barrier Reef, going to England and sold for $10. All right, Bellerive Country Club hat, sold for $6, staying here in St. Louis. One item that you can probably find at the bins that always sells for me is these Napa hats that have years on the back, 108 years of service. I found that out because I remember not too long after my dad moved in, we went down to DuQuoin, Illinois, just to go down there to the cafe we used to always eat at and stuff like that. We did it on a Saturday, so along the way I was hitting some yard sales and that. And we stopped at this one yard sale, and this guy had a bunch of hats, and I paid like $10 for a buttload of hats. But he had about 15 different years of these Napa hats. And I put them all up, and they all sold pretty quick. This one I think I just put up not too long ago also. So, sold for $9, going to Lockport, New York. Going to Redondo Beach, California, it's CLN. What that stands for, I have no idea. But sold for $5.50. And a big old hat, 7 7/8 Los Angeles Dodgers. Sold for $6, headed to the Villages, Florida. Huh. Kind of makes me want to look that up and see what it looks like. The Villages, Florida. So every once in a while I'll catch myself starting to go against my first judgment, my first instinct. And I came across this hat. I'm like, I started to throw it in the giveaway. I'm like, no, put it up. Somebody's going to want it, even with all the paint all over it. Duh. And I'm like, so I put it up, and it already sold. It sold for $6.50, going to Pennsylvania. Got a little Jason Kidd going on here. Flight 96s, going to Garland, Texas, and sold for $42. All right, Born to Be a Nurse. I just picked this up the other day. I think it was a Ben's find. Sold for $8, going to Wisconsin. I always grab these Cardinal polos when I find them at the bins. They always consistently sell, especially that brand. Sold for $14, headed to Bowling Green, Missouri. Alrighty, we had a vintage Drake Relays shirt. Single stitch. Biggity bam. Sold for $32, headed to San Jose, California. Got this kind of cool, like, blouse, the way it's set up. And got the lace and stuff. I don't know what you call that, where it's like tapered there on the end or whatever, but Styling Company. Been in the store over 2 years. Finally sold for $6.50, going to Wisconsin. All right, we got this cool radio here. Very nice condition too. Beautiful. Got it over at the Honey Hole. I think I paid $5 for it. I know it wasn't more than $5. It sold for $30, headed to Belmont, New Hampshire. All right, another one of those, when I got all those Irish albums at the Honey Hole, paid $1 a piece for them. So I paid $1 for this, sold it for $20, going to Stoneham, Massachusetts. Alrighty, we got a lot of 20 Kids DVDs, sold for $19, headed to Mississippi. Another piece of clothing that's been in the store well over 2 years. Sold for $5.50, going to Milwaukee. What's with all these Wisconsin and Pennsylvanias and Michigans? Why ain't I doing like more freaking Nevadas and Californias and Arizonas? Are they like totally blocking my stuff anywhere farther than like the Midwest region or whatever? I don't know. If they're doing some kind of region split between people's stuff. That's kind of really sucky if you think about it. I don't know, I do see a pretty decent amount of stuff to California, so maybe it's just me. All right, sold these together, Pat Travers, 3 cassettes, sold for $6, headed to Lee Vining, California. All right, Players Riverboat Casino trucker hat, sold for $6, headed down to Louisiana. All right, US Open hat, sold for $10, headed to Portland, Oregon. Are you ready for a hat? St. Louis Cardinals hat line. Screwed that one up, didn't I? All right, 2 hats sold for $17. Boom and boom. And going to Dunlap, Illinois. Friend Resells made a joke today. Because pool hose stuff is selling now since he's back. Somebody goes, can we sign Mark McGwire to 1 more year so we can move some Mark McGwire stuff? And I commented, I'm like, right! Exclamation point. And then look what just sells. Mark McGwire banner. Sold for $10, headed to Gilbert, Arizona. Speaking of sending more stuff to Arizona. Can I help you? What's up? Oh, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the lovely people that's inside my camera. Really? What's going on, mister? We're going up in a minute. We're going up in a minute. Not too much longer. I just love staring in those eyes. That's so awesome. All right, 810 538. 810 538. All right, we got a lot of 20 cassettes sold for $19. Headed to Kentucky. 1 more and we're done. 1 more. All right, thanks for not being here in my way. Jeremy Jordan, Try My Love. I'll let you watch him while I look. Jeremy Jordan, Try My Love. Where you going? Where you going? Oh, you stepped on my foot. You stepped on my foot. You stepped on my foot. Well, you might be a little early to go, about a half hour early to go out front. Yeah, I know I said it. I shouldn't have said the F word. I shouldn't have said the F word, right, girl? It's like, I just want to sleep. All right, Jeremy Jordan, Try My Love. Cassette sealed. Going up to Canada. Sold for $10. I think they're ready to call it a night. Let me go to make sure this light's off. I'm 99.9% sure it is. And it is. All right, let's go, kiddos. Alrighty. Thanks, everybody, for the love and support and the puppy love. And we will see you in the next video. Later.